Shalom, children. Last time we learned all about how Yahweh wanted Moshe to make his special dwelling place so he could live among them. Well, Moshe is still up on the mountain listening to more instructions from Yahweh. Today, we are going to hear about some beautiful clothes that he wanted made. Do you remember that Moshe had an older brother named Aaron? Well, Yahweh had chosen Aaron and his sons to wear the beautiful clothes. I wonder if that was exciting for Moshe to have his brother chosen for something special and to have specific clothes made for him. Do you remember the story about Joseph? His father had made him a special outfit too, but Joseph's brothers were jealous. I don't think Moshe was the jealous type, though. Are you happy for your brother or sister, or even someone else, when they get something special and you don't? I hope so, because that's how Yahweh would want us to behave. Yahweh was going to make Aaron a priest for himself. Aaron would serve Yahweh in very specific ways. The first thing Yahweh wanted skilled craftsmen to make was a shoulder garment for Aaron. He said it was to have 2 shoulder pieces that came together, held in place with a band. All of it was to be made of the same material. Then came 2 special stones called shoham stones, which were to have all the names of Jacob's sons engraved onto them. Do you know what an engraver is? That's a person who takes special tools and carves very carefully onto stone or another hard material. This carving can never be erased or washed off. Yahweh wanted the stones to sit in special gold holders called settings. Yahweh wanted them to be put onto the shoulder garments. Every time Aaron came to do his special jobs for Yahweh, he would be carrying the names of the sons of Israel. Next, Yahweh wanted a breastplate made. 12 special gemstones were to be set onto the breastplate, a specific stone for each of the sons of Israel, with his name engraved onto it. This is how Aaron would carry the names of the sons of Israel on his chest, close to his heart. A beautiful robe was to be made from 1 piece of blue fabric. It was to have a hole at the top for Aaron to put his head through. Then the shoulder garment was to be put on over the beautiful blue robe. All around the hem of it, they were to sew on a pattern of bells and pomegranates, all around the front, back, and the bottom of the robe. The bells would jingle when Aaron walked around, and when he went inside to the holiest place. Everyone would hear the bells ringing as he moved. Aaron was to wear a hat called a turban, and a special crown was tied to the turban. Yahweh wanted the phrase, "Set apartness to Yahweh," to be engraved onto it. And Aaron had to wear this every time he brought the special gifts from the Israelites and presented them to Yahweh. Aaron, his sons, and all the other priests were to have special linen garments, shirts, pants, turban hats, and something called a girdle. Yahweh wanted them to wear this every time they came to his house to work. It set them apart from all the rest of the Israelites. Maybe everyone else wore more colorful clothes, but Yahweh wanted his priests to stand out and look different. Yahweh meant for these white clothes to bring honor to the priests who wore them. Have you ever seen a uniform of a police officer, a mailman, or a nurse? You can tell who they work for and what they do by just looking at their clothes. When people saw the priests, they would know exactly what their job was and realize that they were about to go and meet with Yahweh. Next, Moshe was to hear all about how Yahweh wanted his priest to be set apart in a special ceremony. Yahweh promised that his priest would be chosen from the family of Aaron forever. First, Moshe must bring to the tent of appointment a young bull and 2 rams. They couldn't have a single scratch, or a scab, or a nicked ear, or a crooked leg, not even a runny nose. They had to be absolutely perfect. Yahweh also told Moshe to bring a single basket containing unleavened bread, unleavened cakes mixed with oil, and unleavened wheat wafers anointed with oil. Then Aaron and his sons were to come forward to be washed with water and get all cleaned up. When Aaron was ready, Moshe was to dress up his brother in the rich garments of the high priest. Aaron had to stand very still and let his brother put everything on. For 7 days, Yahweh wanted the altar to be cleansed and anointed, to set it apart each new day. A perfect bull had to be offered each day, burnt completely in the same way each time. Every single piece of furniture inside the dwelling place had to be anointed too. In the courtyard outside, Moshe was to anoint the altar, all its utensils, and also the wash basin and its stand. Finally, Moshe was to anoint Aaron and his sons. But this wasn't just a little dab of oil on the forehead. Moshe was to pour it all over the head of each priest, and then sprinkle it onto each one, and on his garments too. Now this anointing oil wasn't the kind that your mother uses for cooking. No, Yahweh had his own recipe. He wanted 4 precious spices to be added to the pure olive oil: myrrh, sweet cinnamon, sweet-smelling cane, and cassia. Oh, it must have smelled heavenly. This fragrant anointing oil was only for Yahweh's use. He commanded that it was not to be poured out on any man of the congregation, or to be made for any other purpose than to set things apart to Yahweh. It was not to be found anywhere else in the camp except the dwelling place. When Yahweh had finished all these instructions to Moshe, he spoke again his promise that he would dwell in their midst and be their Elohim, and that they would know that he was the Mighty One who had brought them out of slavery from the land of Mitzrayim. Well, children, this is the end of our story for today, so we will see you next time for another exciting Torah portion. Shalom.